Hi, my name is Lokesh from City 1016. The Dubai Comedy Festival is going to start very soon, and we have stand-up comedians from around the world performing at Dubai Comedy Festival. From our very own India, we are super pumped and super happy that we have the finest comedian coming from India. He needs no introduction. His name is Veer Das, and pretty much on City 1016. Hi, Veer.
What's up, man? How are you?
Very good. Very excited. This is our first event during the pandemic, but after the lockdown, and we cannot
Yeah,
wait to have you over. Wanted to know what are the preparations happening at your end? Like, how many sanitizers are you packing in your bag before coming to Dubai?
enough here. But I have a feeling your airport will sanitize me enough once I get in. So, no, I'm taking vitamin D and having zinc and writing jokes. That's basically what I'm doing.
Are you a bit nervous for now that you're traveling for the show?
No, I mean, I've been gigging here for a while now. I've been gigging here for about 3 weeks. We kind of restarted the Indian stand-up scene here, and so we're doing outdoor shows. And the reason we said yes to this show is because the comedy festival organizers really seemed like they knew what they were doing in terms of social distancing, in terms of the
Right.
seating map, in terms of the sanitization, etc. And the World Trade Center as a venue seems like they knew what they were doing as well. So we
Yeah.
kind of operate safely first. So I was like, yeah, this is in an environment in which my audience will be safe.
I'm most interested in about your process of writing. I have spoken to a couple of comedians, and some of them like to write what they are performing on stage. Some of them told me that they are very impromptu about the whole thing. What is your process? Do you write everything? How do you go
I
about it?
uh, I write every day. I try to write something every day. I try to write about an hour or two every day, and just to kind of, even if it's just stream of consciousness, whatever's in my head, I'll try and write it down. And then I'll go up on stage with it and I'll just kind of say it out. And then the second time when you record that and when you hear it, my rewriting is where my writing actually happens. So I'll go on stage and I'll say all sorts of nonsense. And then I'll record that and then I'll come back and I'll be like, Acha, ye acha tha, and this has promise and this has potential. And then I'll elaborate on that.
So with every performance, basically, there's reflection, and it gets better with the next performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think so. I mean, it's very important for comedians to record and re-listen to their performances.
There are different kinds of comedies. So some people talk about their college days. Some people talk about their girlfriends, their relatives, and other things. Your comedy is pretty interesting because your politics show very evidently about feminism, about the current affairs, about politics, about everything. Um, I was watching The Social Dilemma on Netflix, and it talks about how what a polarized world we are living in. How difficult does it get for a comedian like you, whose politics is so evident, to be able to go up on stage and perform and cater to different kinds of sensibilities?
Well, I don't think my politics is evident because my politics is in utter hatred of politics, if I'm being very honest.
Hmm.
So I don't consider myself uh, supporting this party or this ideology or that party. I just hate both of them because I think both of them are incapable. So
Hmm.
in that sense, it's pretty unifying. It's not really
Hmm.
polarizing at all because
Yeah.
we can all agree that they're pretty incompetent.
No,
So
I didn't
because of
mean
that,
politics
my,
of politics. I meant politics in general, like, about you speak very often about feminism, you speak about toxic masculinity, speak about social issues.
I mean,
Um,
yeah, but I think that's less politics and more your conscience making its way into your comedy. I think as you do this for a while, and I haven't done this very long, I've only done it 12 years. Great people who are, your Chappelle and your Bill Burr and your Johnny Lever and all have been doing this 20, 30 years, which is why they're as good as they are. But maybe with time, the one thing that happens is who you are as a person starts to put yourself into your material a little bit. You access your conscience more easily. So yeah, I consider myself not wanting to be a toxic male. I consider myself trying to be a feminist or trying to learn what that is. I'm very patriotic about my country. I own my Indian identity. So I think those things come into my stand up for sure.
Okay. A couple of years ago, I was watching one of your interviews. I was preparing for this interview, and you said something really interesting about success. And you said that the success is actually the time between getting an idea and getting it executed. You also gave a very interesting example of how if Amir Khan has an idea of donkeys in Peru doing judo, then he would
Yeah.
get the whole thing done in like 4 hours, and that's success for you. So how close are you from putting your ideas into execution now? How successful do you think you are now?
I was pretty close here, but then a virus happened. So now Now I'm 6 months to 2 years away from executing all of my ideas. So I think the good learning from the lockdown is also that you can have the best made plans, but you're not eventually in control of how things go. And sometimes it's good to just sit back and and let other people be in control, which is largely what my new show is about as well. It's just about kind of letting go of all of your beliefs and all of your notions and just kind of going, hey, this is life, and
Hmm.
submitting to it.
Speaking of the lockdown, what have you been up to? I mean, people have turned into bakers and all kinds of things. What have you been up to during the lockdown?
It's been a very busy lockdown. I created a comedy special. I wrote a movie. I produced 2 series that will now go on floor through my company. It's been very busy in terms of work. I got a lot of time to write. I wrote the most I've ever written in this lockdown.
Okay, okay. All right, Veer. So last few things, just like a
Hmm.
few fun questions. When
Yeah.
was the last time you Googled yourself and what did you find about yourself?
I don't Google myself just because of being afraid of what is said. But my mother will send me Google links, and my manager will send me Google links, and my wife will send me Google links sometimes saying, "What the hell have you done? What did you say this time?" So I get my Google links anyway.
But do you get bothered with whatever links you're getting from your family and friends?
Not so much. No,
Uh,
not
Okay,
so much.
okay. Um, a
Haven't we
compliment that
accepted that the internet is just all fake at the end of the day? Like, isn't that the best way to approach the internet? Just to say,
pretty much,
none of this is real. Yeah.
pretty much, pretty much. What is that one compliment that completely made your life? That you got.
Uh, that you're finding yourself on stage. I've never seen you be yourself more. So I get that every year, and I hope to get that compliment every year. Every year I get that, I feel better because I feel like I'm knowing who I am as an artist.
From people or from a particular person? From
I
people in
think
general.
from people who know me, because that's important because they know who you really are. And the goal for a comedian is to get to be as close as you really are on stage. So when they're like, you're heading in that direction, I feel good about that.
Okay. Um, One Indian comic you're envious of.
Johnny Lever. Nobody has crowd control and emotional appeal like Johnny Lever. So yeah.
Okay. The last time you felt jaded as a comedian, you felt a little.
Every day, yeah, that's what being a comedian is. You take the jadedness and you turn it into jokes. No, I'm pretty optimistic. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes when I read what's happening with women in our country, or I read what's happening with religion in our country and how we're polarized, I get jaded. But then I remind myself to write jokes about it, and I feel better.
Okay. The most dialed person on your phone.
Most dialed person on my phone is my. I live with my wife, and I'm not traveling anymore, so it's not her. I don't know. It might be like Amazon, yeah, or Swiggy or something like that. That's the most received person on my phone. So yeah,
Right. Okay. Okay. One person you're secretly stalking on Instagram.
Ritik Roshan, man. Because I just whenever I'm trying to change the way my body looks for a part. So every time I lose motivation, I go to his Insta and I just be like, "Dekh Ritik kya kar raha hai?"
So, what's your aim? What are you looking for? Like, how are you planning to change the body?
I have to lose a lot of weight. I have to
Lose a
get
lot of
to
weight.
like 0% body fat. So yeah,
Okay. Okay. Last few quick reactions. Journalism in India.
non-existent, dead.
Nepotism.
Nepotism in India uh, exists at every level of every industry, called out in like 3 industries.
Okay. Go or gone.
Go are gone. Hopefully, there's a two.
Mastizade.
Mastizade, there will not be a two.
We always fun chatting up with you. We cannot really wait to
All
have
right.
you on the 22nd of October. One
All
thing
right,
that you
man.
want to say to all your fans here in Dubai. Uh,
I think the lockdown has definitely changed all of us, and it definitely changed me as a comedian. So this new show is optimistic. It's about letting go of who you were before this lockdown and finding yourself again in this new world. So come and check out my show.
Super. Thanks, buddy, and all the very best. We're going to
All
catch
right,
you on the
man.
22nd of October.
Cheers.
See you.
Take care. See you, sir.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
City 1016.